Man, you make it this far and it's going to hurt. This is not a smile because it happened situation. This is a cry because it's over. And there's certainly be plenty of that in Detroit in the days to come as this quest for a Super Bowl Sunday, that thirst remains unquenched. Dan Campbell, postgame.
You know, we just didn't play good enough. And really we never complimented each other. Felt that way going at halftime, and it really never got better. So, you know, you come out 3 and out on offense, but then your defense gives you life. You know, you stop them on downs, you get the ball back, you go down and score a touchdown. You know, defense holds them, you know, limits points. We come back, we turn the ball over. You know, you have a chance to go up 14-3, and so, you know, that was where the beginning of it started. And so you need a stop, you don't get a stop. You know, when we do get a stop, we turn the ball over. So we just didn't compliment each other, and it was it's just, as everybody knows, you turn the ball over 5 times, and the last one's whatever, so call it 4. That's fine. It's just too much. It's too hard against a team like that to come back. And we tried. We just couldn't quite get over the hump. We knew if we could just pull it within 1 score, you know, we'd have a chance here. We just could not get over the hump. Questions?
It's kind of what you warned about last year, just how tough it is to get back even when things seem to go so right. How do you just internalize the whole season? You know, this tonight is everything.
Can't do that right now. You know, I told the team that. Look, they know, and I told them, I said, at the end of the day, after all of this, the loss today, I still, you know, I love the guys, and I respect them, and I appreciate everything they've put into it. But you know, it's not the time to talk about what a great year or how many wins. It just, you know, it's because at this moment, I don't think any of us feel that way. You know, the whole point of doing what you do is to get to the show, man. That's why you play this game, and we fell short.
Any playoff loss is going to be disappointing, but when you're the #1 seed and you've accomplished what you've accomplished, does it hurt extra?
No, it just hurts to lose, man. And I don't care if you're the 7 seed, 6 seed, 5 seed, 1 seed, because I've lost at all of them damn near, and it stings and it hurts. So, you know, it hurts.
And as consistently good as your team has been this year, can you fathom where this performance came from? The turnovers, things you guys haven't normally ever done?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was, you know, and it was one of those, you know, it just was one of those odd days. You know, things were a little bit off, and, you know, I mean, look, the first one we had, you know, we're going to Saint, and Saint just kind of trips a little bit, and then the golf has got to move back in the pocket and reset, and then, you know, he ends up, you know, getting sacked, and the ball gets knocked out, and they recover, and it, you know, it was just it's a chain reaction. It's a ripple effect of things happening all in one play, and so, you know, it's not just one thing, and that was kind of how the day was a little bit. And it was just that has not been our MO. We had a couple of penalties. We just didn't play great, man. And I mentioned, you know, we didn't compliment each other. And look, man, that's the same thing. You know, at the end of the day, man, I didn't have them ready. You know, it's hard to look at it, but so.
Dan, watching him on tape, did you think Daniels might play like a 10-year veteran today?
Yes. The tape says so. We knew we were going to have our hands full.
And you mentioned
He's a good player.
You mentioned the early deficit. Do you feel like that had the offense playing outside of itself in any way?
With what? I'm sorry. Just
with the early deficit, do you feel like the offense kind of got outside of it?
Man, I don't. I didn't feel that way. I mean, that's something we've been really good. We talked about it. Hell, we made the point of it even today with where we were at. Talked about it early in the first half. Talked about it at halftime. Talked about coming out. Just don't press. Stay in the flow of the game. Let the plays come to you. And so I didn't feel that way, but we just didn't get it done. And I wish I had a better answer. It'll be something that I'm going to be, I'm going to have a lot of time here to really look at it and think about it and figure it out. And how do we improve? What do we need to fix? The what's, the why's, the how's, all of it.
When you have a regular season that goes the way it did, you guys put yourself in the spot where you wanted to be. Is this a moment in sports, a moment in athletics that most people don't get, where you are so speechless because you just can't put into words everything that you've been through, and it ends up that way?
No, I just think it's just not the time, man. It's hard, when you lose these games, man. It's like the players, what they put into it. A lot of people don't know, what they go through. You have to get up. Bodies beat to shit. And, mentally stay locked in and do those things. So, long season.
What happened on the 12-man on the field penalty?
It's my fault. It's my fault.
For Meek going down so early change you guys' defensive game plan?
It didn't change what we did. It hurt a little bit, but KV came in and did a good job for us. He competed out there. He competed.
The last one, guys, Jameson through. Can you just take us through practice and then,
Which one?
The one that Jameson threw?
Yeah. I would have liked for him to run, but, listen, take a risk, and it didn't work out.
Did we go to the hospital? Is he okay?
All right, here's a dirty little secret about the NFL. When it all starts, September, August, there's hope everywhere, but belief only lives so many places. Mac, how many teams do you think walk into a season thinking, this is the year, we can win the Super Bowl this year?
I would say 8.
Eight teams. This is certainly one of those teams. This might be, if there was one team, the team that believed in itself the most, and that is what it looks and sounds like when you fall short of such lofty expectations. And when you win 15 games in a regular season, that only amplifies that heartbreak that you just heard and felt from Dan Campbell. All right, back in studio with Bryant McFadden. Mac, you heard not a lot of straight answers there. You felt a lot of emotion from Dan Campbell, and obviously rightfully so, in what they put in, the players, the coaches, and the fact that it's going to change. The roster always changes. Coaching staffs, usually there's tweaks. There's going to be massive changes likely on this coaching staff, at least expected, with a couple coordinators up for jobs right now. When you look at the future of Detroit, it's hard not to love the talent there, but what's your biggest question about beyond the personnel, what this might look like?
Being able to replace the key contributors they're going to lose. It can be from the personnel side of things in terms of players, or it can be a part of the coaching staff. And I always reflect back to my playoff moments with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we would go out for opening kickoff, we would all gather in the locker room, in the shower, and say a prayer. And usually our captains will always say, look to the right, look to the left. If this is our last ball game, this team will never be the same. We will never be the same. Because the nature of the NFL, year in and year out, there's going to be new faces coming into the building. There's going to be old faces leaving the building. So for the Detroit Lions, you look at the expectations that were set for them coming into this season. Winning 15 games, it tells me you lived up to the expectations. But we felt like you can do more in terms of getting to a Super Bowl and not having that become a reality is a hard pill to swallow, not to mention you lost in the divisional round. So to your question, Joe, the window is still open for the Detroit Lions. I'm not going to say it's closed, but it won't be as
a different window.
As wide.
It's a different window.
Yeah, it won't be as wide as it was this season. Because you look at the success they had last year. Like, people were like, wow, look at this team, how they go about their business, their style of play, the running backs, the defense. And you lost in the conference championship game to the 49ers, and you basically brought everyone back. And now you were dealing with injuries, but you still was able to weather through the storm of that to win ball games. Now, you potentially could lose both coordinators. And if you want to see how things can happen when you lose coordinators, just go back and look at the Philadelphia Eagles when they lost their coordinators in that Super Bowl year they had when they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. Remember, they brought in new coordinators and basically replaced one during the season.
Yeah.
On the offensive end.
Took a while to solidify identity once again.
Now, the one luxury, the bright spot for the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff isn't going anywhere. Jahmyr Gibbs isn't going anywhere. David Montgomery, they just gave him extension. He's not going anywhere. Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo. You still got
Hutch is going to be back.
Hutch is going to be back. You know, you still have Zadarius, who you traded for. He will be with Hutchinson. So you still got big-time players that will be a part of this team.
The scheme may be different.
It may be on either side.
The culture,
yeah,
very much responsible to the man we just heard from.
Will still be intact.
That culture is a winning culture there. It is not on this day, however. Mac, thank you again.